Like, I'm ashamed to be associated with you. I can't believe I sacrificed so much to be here just to watch this distasteful and classist display. I'm serious, like, so appalled.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of season 2 of Do You Accept This Rose? Nailed it. Finally got the name right.
So this week, it's technically week 3, even though this is our second episode. We are just behind, but less behind than we were last season.
Yeah. So we're doing fine.
Yeah, so it starts with the cocktail party that we didn't see at the end of last week's
Yes.
episode.
So they were like kind of in the cocktail party, but they hadn't like started it.
Yeah.
Type of thing. They previewed it.
And we pick back up when Yosef
Our boy
plans on confronting Claire and telling her that he is disappointed in her. And he kind of made it sound like he was just going to say, like, oh, I feel like you're, like, kind of, like, immature, like, don't like what you did.
Valid points, though. Like, he went into it with very, very, very valid points,
yeah,
right?
And I feel like all the other guys were, like, skeptical, but, like, everyone was kind of like, all right, like, reasonable.
Yeah, so he goes and talks to Claire, and he starts out, and he's essentially like, I have a daughter. I don't necessarily, like, want her to see me like this on television. I don't want, like, to be associated with it. Like, I kind of think it was disrespectful what you did by having these men play, like, strip dodgeball. Then, instead of just, like, ending it there and being like, I really don't appreciate that you did that, I'm just, like, wanting to confront you because I kind of felt uncomfortable about it, he, like, continues to just absolutely go in on her life.
Believe that you're not fit to be a mother to my child. That ain't right.
You find out that it was, like, we only see, like, maybe a minute. Apparently it was a 20-minute conversation. So clearly, like, you went into this, like, wanting to go home.
Yeah.
Why would she keep you out?
Which I feel like he probably did, too, because he probably was like, wait, I don't want to be with this girl. But,
yeah,
like,
but it's like, bow out gracefully, my guy.
yeah, just be like, okay, I'm going to leave. Like, I don't think you're the right girl. Not like, okay, I'm going to, like, set smoke signals everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, craziness. So.
And I honestly felt kind of bad for her because
The one time Sarah feels bad for her.
This is the one time I'm going to feel bad for her. And I thought, I literally texted you and I was like, oh, I feel bad for her. And I was like, maybe this episode I'm going to like Claire.
And I was like, Sarah, just you wait.
She handled it pretty well. So basically, I mean,
yeah.
In the moment, like, she didn't cry in front of him.
Yeah, but then she kind of goes crazy, and he was like, there's a reason you're the oldest bachelorette, like this whole kind of thing.
And then she does the whole, I'm single at 39 because I didn't settle for men like that.
I'm the oldest bachelorette, this 39 that's standing here that's single, because I didn't settle for men like that.
Moving past that, Yosef's gone.
Yeah.
We wish you all the best in your endeavors of finding a woman.
And Dale uses the time of her sobbing to be the one to comfort her.
Yeah,
and she loves it.
She's like, oh my god, like, he just comforted me. And I'm like, okay.
And, like, I mean, good on him, like, he was being a nice guy, but really all he was saying was, like, it's alright. I feel like if any other guy had tried to comfort her, she would have been like,
leave me alone. And then, like, he comes and she's like, yeah. She then cancels the cocktail party. And she's like, you know what? We're moving right to the, like, rose ceremony. Like, I don't even need more time with you guys.
Hasn't talked to anyone.
Yeah. So, like, at this point, she's probably talked to every single guy, like, probably a total of 10 minutes. I honestly couldn't tell you who went home.
I didn't even bother writing down who went home. The people who went home, like, you know that she hasn't talked to them because we have no idea. Like you see their faces, and I'm like, I didn't even know he was on the show.
Yeah. So, like, whatever. Some guys go home. That's where week 3 kind of starts.
Yeah.
It's after this rose ceremony.
Mm-hmm. And there's a group date that I actually do know the names of these people. Is Dale, of course, Jason, Jay, Easy, Chasen.
Chasen? Oh, Jason.
Jason is also on the date, but then there's also that guy, Chasen.
Oh, okay.
Blake, Ed, I have no idea who that is, and Riley. So they are excited. They're like, we must be the guys that she chose because we're going to make her laugh. She's going to forget all about Yosef. They're like getting pumped.
It's like 11 o'clock. They're like, When's the date? They're so hyped. They're all ready. 12 o'clock. Yes. 1 o'clock. Where's she at? Then it hits like, okay, it's late in the day. And they're all like, we've literally been twiddling our thumbs all day. Like, where is this girl for our date? And she walks in and she's like, oh, hey. I actually just decided to like cancel the date portion of the date. And we're just gonna do like what would you call it? Like the night portion?
Yeah, like their mini cocktail party.
Yeah, where she wants like one-on-one time with the people. And they're all like, are you joking? Like, we literally just waited all day for this date. They were ready to compete in some sort of competition. And she's just like, no.
And Dale's sitting in the corner like, it's because of me.
Yeah. The date portion of a date, like, yes, it's nice to have one-on-one time and talk, but it's also, like, nice to see how certain people react in certain situations, you know? Like, yes, the football or whatever, dodgeball thing. I was saying, like, if you're not good at sports, you wouldn't necessarily like that. But your willingness to do it is also showing something about your character as well. So her completely cutting out the date, like, fun portion of it, you don't necessarily see how these people are reacting in certain situations, so.
We can kind of assume the reason that she canceled it is because while they were waiting, she was with a bachelorette from, like, season 4. She was like, I think I know who I want to marry, and the other bachelorette is like, yes, you're probably right, marry him, he's the one.
Yeah.
You'll know when you know, and they somehow had a pair of Dale's pants.
Yeah, so Claire is, like, smelling Dale's pants. And she's like, I literally fall asleep with these pants. I love the smell of them, whatever. So did he give those to her in the words of, or in, like, the love languages?
She said that he ripped his pants during, like, the first date, and then she asked for them. We did not see this happen. I don't know when he ripped these pants, and I don't know why she asked for them.
Is it when he was running?
Maybe.
Do you remember when he was running and he kind of fell?
Yeah. So, you know, she was sniffing his pants all afternoon.
And she's just like, I love him. Like, I want to be with him. So she skips the date portion and they go straight to the nighttime thing. Dale stands up, like, literally immediately after and was like, Claire, I want to talk to Claire. Like, it'll take 5 minutes. Like, it's not going to take long, whatever.
Yeah. He was like, we need to respect everybody's time. Everyone should get time with her.
Yeah.
I just need 5 minutes. Is it cool if I start? Yeah, and I think it was just like,
I want to see if she's good
right.
after, like, the whole Yosef incident.
Yeah, so all the guys were like, go for it.
Then, it was like 45 minutes to an hour later, like, they're still together. And all the guys are like, that's kind of rude. Like, don't say you're going to be gone for 5 minutes if you're not, you know?
Yeah, and they went to her bedroom.
They went to her room, of all places on La Quinta Inn Resort, whatever. It seems huge. They could have gone to one of those, like, banquet halls or something, you know? So they end up going back to her room, and they're, like, getting hot and heavy in her bed. And I'm like, this is sketchy.
I mean, like, they're adults, but, like, for the show, that should kind of be off limits. Just because, I mean, you're probably gonna have an unfair advantage if some people are going to the
yeah,
and some aren't.
So then one of the guys walks over and they're all like, this is getting ridiculous. Like, they have been gone for like an hour. Like, he said 5 minutes, been an hour. I'm going to go look for him. So Easy goes out and, like, ends up knocking on her door. And, like, they just, like, pretend that they were, like, hanging out, like, chit-chatting. They're, like, little kids being like, hee hee hee, like.
Like, Dale was sitting in, like, a singular armchair.
Yeah.
Being, oh, we were just talking. And Easy, like, I feel like as soon as he walked in, he like, wanted to leave the show.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Because it was just so awkward.
Okay.
It felt awkward to watch because it's like you knew they weren't just, like, hanging out. Then, like, a couple other people start talking with Claire that day. Dale is like, oh, I actually, like, didn't get enough time with her. So he goes to the bathroom and then, like, just so happens to walk into the room she was in. Oh, I didn't realize you were in here.
Do you want to, like, stay? And the other guy literally is like, great, well, I guess I'll leave.
Yeah. So then the other guy leaves, so then it's just them two again. And they end up, like, he's, like, pushing her up against a wall. And then someone else walks in, and they just, like, pretend that they're just, like, hanging next to a wall.
Claire and I have a special connection. I'm not ashamed or afraid of taking that initial step.
And Claire goes up to one of the producers and is like, can we just, like, hurry the other ones along?
Yeah, she's like, I'm kind of, like, wanting to go to bed. And I'm like, your job is like, you are the reason this is going so late. Whatever. Seems stupid to me, but.
So then she gives Dale the rose, and all the guys. This is when I think they're really starting to realize, like, something's up. Like, this is not fair.
So stupid.
That was the first group date.
The next date happens, which is a little bit awkward. It's with this guy, Zach. So she's like, oh, we'll do like a spa date. So they end up getting like pedicures, and he's really ticklish. So he's like laughing his whole way through the pedicure, whatever. Pretty unnoteworthy at that point. So then they like start swimming in the pool together. It's kind of like towards the end of their like daytime date section of it. She's walking out of the pool and he's following her, and then she turns around to go like kiss him. So she like leans in like, say this is vitamin water.
Yeah, show us.
This is her. She's leaning in. He like just stays like this. But he doesn't lean out. He just stays like this. It's not like he met her halfway. She was already leaned in so much. If he leaned in too, like they would literally be like, boom, you know? So I just felt like it made sense for him to, like, I didn't see.
Yeah, like if you watch it, you won't see what he did wrong.
Yeah. So in her mind, she was leaning in like this and he was like, you know, like he was like, Nolan, like literally Nolan. She was like, oh. So then she starts like storming out of the pool, and he's like, Claire, like what happened? And he tries to like touch her to be like, hey, what happened? She's like, don't you dare lay a finger on me, like freaking out at him. And like, I don't think personally he did anything wrong. He was doing it more so to be like, hey, what's up? Like,
one thing that like I don't think he meant it bad, but he like kind of like grabs her like neck.
Oh, okay.
But it's more of like trying to like, he was like just holding her back.
I think it was more
like,
so to just try to console her and be like, hey, like what's up? Like what's wrong?
And then he was trying to be like, let's kiss. Like, you want to kiss? Let's kiss.
And she was like, no, I'm done. Like, you leaned away. Like, don't lean away from me. Like, that's rude, whatever. Because they're supposed to have, like, their dinner date later on. He's, like, sitting there, twiddling his thumbs, waiting for her to show up at the dinner date. All of a sudden, Chris Harrison pops out and was like, so Claire's not showing up. Like, you're going home. For her to just not show up shows a lot about, like, this guy literally left his whole life for you, and you can't even give him the decency to be like, I'm actually not into you, like, I'm sending you home. Like, thank you so much for your time and for, like, wanting to be with me.
Even before the kiss happened, in the beginning, she was like, I just get weird vibes from him. I think that he's, like, awkward and he's shy and, like, not really feeling it. So I feel like from the beginning of the date, she was like, I don't like this man.
Yeah.
Good for you for knowing what you don't want.
But like, if you know that you don't want it, be, like, able enough to be like, oh, I'm actually not into you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we're similar enough, but thank you for coming. Yeah, so he goes home, and then the next date, she's like, we're going to do she doesn't tell them, but they end up doing, like, a comedy roast. So it's, like, half of the guys, because everyone this week got a date. Half the guys do a comedy roast and are all like, oh, like, this is so exciting. Like, you have to write your own jokes. It's going to be this whole thing. And they're like, finally, like a chance where it's just this smaller group. Like, Dale's not here. We're going to get all the attention. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, and by the way, like, your audience is actually going to be all the rest of the guys. AKA, like, Dale's going to be in the audience. And they're all like, seriously? Like, he's everywhere.
Keep in mind, we all know what a comedy roast is. You're supposed to be mean. Like, that's kind of the point. And especially, this is like, it's a competition of men fighting for one woman.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're going to target the, like, front runner. So they do, and she's like, wow, we got some jealousy here.
You look like the boa constrictor from the Jungle Book, and it's only a matter of time before Claire snaps out of your spell.
Everyone that's coming at him, I'm just like, ooh, that one hurt. You know what I mean? That one landed a little bit. That one, I felt that one in my soul. I felt that one.
After they actually do the roast, she's like, yeah, whoa, like, they're targeting Dale. So she ends up, like, pulling each one of them aside, as you do in the night portion. And instead of, like, asking any question about their life, she's just kind of like, so why'd you, like, make fun of Dale. So she pulls Bennett aside first because Bennett like roasted him the most. And she was like, what did she say? I can't even remember. She just was like,
We forgot to mention this, but Dale had previously said something along the lines to the guys of like, I'm best suited for her.
Yeah.
So they all were like, ooh, game on. Bennett is the one who mentioned that in his joke. And she was like, so, what did you like mean when you said that? Like, when did Dale say that? What day? What time?
you said he thinks he's the front runner. Like, why is that? And then by the end of the night, all the guys are like, all she wants to talk about is like, why we talked about Dale. Like, that's kind of sketchy. Is she not into any of us? So the one guy, what's his name with the tattoo, star tattoos right here, he essentially is like, guys, isn't this kind of weird? Like, I feel like she's really like almost only into Dale. Like, does she actually care about any of us? And they're like, okay, like it'll be telling whoever she gives like the group date rose to.
So then she comes back.
Yeah.
And is like, I didn't get what I needed from you guys tonight.
And it's like, because you didn't ask them any questions, or you probably didn't let them talk about themselves, because all you talked about was Dale. And then they show Claire, like, post-date, and she's like, I'm going to give myself the group date rose, because I deserve it. And, like, I was the best suited, and, like, all this kind of stuff. And we're like, this is crazy.
It is fine if you found the guy,
But
end
don't-
the show.
Yeah, don't drag these other people along. I think that's my thing. It's like, yes, Bachelor Nation can figure out what they're going to do. You know, they are
Yeah.
a big, you are not the only one that was in contention for, to be the Bachelorette. Like, they have people lined up. They can get another person in there, but like you continuing to be there, like, stop.
I'm pretty sure next week they're all like, they want to leave.
You can see on the previews that there is a lot of stuff about like what's happening. Like, all the guys are like, we don't want to be here, we're walking out. And then at the end of the preview, they show Tasia.
Like full like Baywatch scene.
Yeah.
Tasia's coming, like Claire's leaving, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, yeah.
Honestly, it was like pretty hype. I didn't like the show before this year, but I literally was like, Tasia! I'm like, I don't even know this girl.
Someone that's not
I
Claire.
was like, wow, it's like a Marvel movie.
So I'm like very excited for next week. It's gonna be a good one. So I guess we'll know more next week. But in terms of like other guys that I'm like liking, I vibe with Bennett because I think he's funny.
Me too.
I like Easy because he seems cool.
He seems like normal too.
Yeah. And I also really like the guy with the star tattoo, whatever his name is. Shout out to you.
And I think his name is Riley.
So I guess that'll be interesting to see. It's almost like we're watching two different shows. Next week, Let's Hope is more exciting because this week I'm like, there was mediocre drama.
And fun fact, Dale used to be a model for Spirit Halloween. So I guess we'll see you next week.
Bye.